The story of my life, huh? I hope you got a lot of time. I'll be 129 years old this year. Since I retired back in '93, I've been pretty busy. I've done a lot in my time. Taught school, coached, ran a store. It was after I retired from teaching that I discovered a way to get the world to solar energy and invented a perpetual motion machine. Discovered the Rosetta Stone and won the Nobel Prize. I had a time, that's for sure. So you want me to look back on it all, do you?
I call the first part of my life my baby period. I was born in 1939 in what is now part of Nebraska. I was very young at the time, so I don't remember it very well. But I do remember that I had a very curious nature. I was just fascinated by natural phenomena.
Wait a minute. These things come in different sizes? What are these, jumbos? Lunch.
We moved to the Illinois Territory as soon as I grew into my boy period, and I was still chock full of curiosity. I just had to know how everything worked. I used to fool around with things for hours at a time. I sort of lurched into my adolescent period. I was simply wild about experimentation and data. I measured everything. Oh, Wanda June. Oh, you're the one for me. Oh, wait, I got oh. After I left high school, I enrolled in college. Since science had just been discovered, I decided to major in it. College had lots of newfangled things to play with. I enjoyed life to the hilt. It was sort of my rites of passage period. When college was over, and I'd blown up most of the equipment, I decided to become a science teacher. There was something about the prospect of lighting up those little faces that lit mine up too. I call this my Mr. Rogers period. I'm Mr. Little. I'm glad you're here with me today. It's a beautiful day in the science lab. A beautiful day for some science. Grab your textbook. It's the best book. It's a beautiful day to experiment. I'll fill you all up with merriment and knowledge, 'cause I've been to college. I have always wanted to have some learners just like you, and mortars and pestles and Bunsen burners and test tubes too. So let's make the most of our hour today. Since we're together, you might as well stay. Please won't you try, just you and I. Won't you try some science? Won't you try? Won't you try? Oh, please won't you try some science?
Soon as the 1970s showed up, I was bitten by the environment bug. Seemed like the best things in life were outside the school building. I formed an outdoor club, started up a canoe store, spent a lot of time hiking. I call this my homeless period.
Mr. Little, I'm here to observe your class.
Sure, pull up a log. The kids are out there somewhere. You want some beef jerky?
I don't think so. What's the name of this course?
This is called Finding Fulfillment by Climbing Ponderosa Pines.
DeMarco, where are you going with that girl?
It's a very popular course. Say, would you like some trail mix? Right here.
Perhaps later. What's today's lesson?
Gee, I really don't remember. Something about climbing, I think.
DeMarco, give her back her shirt.
Mr. Little, perhaps you've heard of Madeline Hunter.
Hunter. Oh, Hunter, yeah, they're our biggest problem. You know, I tell the kids to wear their orange vests, but you know how it goes. Damn. DeMarco.
Mr. Little, it's hard for me to see how courses like this can prepare students for life.
Are you kidding? Hey, picture this. You've been surviving for days on edible roots and berries. You slip off the trail and find yourself clinging to a rock by your fingernails while your feet dangle over a sheer 200-foot drop.
Ooh.
With your last ounce of remaining strength, you toss a rope around a tree trunk and pull yourself to safety. If you can handle that, you can take anything Claus and Pickle can deal out, don't you think?
I suppose so. Say, maybe I should come back another time.
You bet. Come on back next hour.
Really, what class is that?
I think it's called Principles of Advanced Metaphysical Canoeing. Something. Want some s'mores?
No, thanks. Mr. Little, it says in the course outline that outdoor courses are the most important experiences a student could ever have. Is that really true?
That is absolutely true.
Well, it weren't true at all. I was a terrible liar during my homeless period. It was getting pretty late in my career when I came back inside and invented physics. I got involved with a program called PRISM. That's P-R-I-S-M, not prison. I don't want anyone thinking my prison period was spent behind bars. What I did during this time was teach young'uns the principles of physics by having them do strange things in the hallway. Then, in June of '93, I retired after 33 years in the Woodstock School District. I thought they was going to name a new high school building after me. They still might if the damn thing ever gets built. They gave me a hell of a send-off, though.
You wondered if you knew enough. You thought you didn't do enough. Seems you never quite got through enough. You don't know where it went. And were they always hearing you, respecting or just fearing you? And as the end is nearing, do you know just what it meant? Looking back, Can't you see what you've meant to folks like me? Looking back, you ought to know you've taught us what is possible, more than you could possibly know. You loved them and believed in them, not fooling or deceiving them. It's hard to think of leaving them. Anyone can see your heart is overflowing now. To think you're really going now, after all those years of showing how content a man can be. Looking back, can't you see what you've meant to folks like me? Looking back, you ought to know you've taught us what is possible, more than you could possibly know. Looking back, can't you see what you've meant to folks like me? Looking back, you ought to know you've taught us what is possible, more than you could possibly know.
Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I did